Hi there, welcome to the channel or welcome back. I'm Angela and this is where I share with you guys everything that's going on in my Zone 6 garden, southwestern Ohio in the US. And today is Wednesday, May 29th. I had to think about that. Can't believe we're almost to the end of May, and by the time you guys see this, May will be over. So this is a part one of this video. If you're new to the channel, then you may not know that I tend to do my garden vlogs over a period of days throughout the week. So whenever I'm out here doing any activities, I try to record it and just show you guys what's going on today in the garden, and then compile it all into a weekly vlog. So what I am out here working on today are getting some trees in the ground and a couple of shrubs. I recently ordered a total of 6 trees and shrubs from the Arbor Day Foundation. They came a couple of days ago. They actually got here on Sunday and today's Wednesday, so it's high time I get those into the ground, and I'll show you what I have done so far. So I'm going to flip you around. And this first one here is a star magnolia. You can't really see it, it's tiny, it's about a foot tall, but I do have it protected by this netting because we have a lot of deer pressure here. And the second one that I have planted is a birch. It's called Renaissance Oasis. And this one's a little bit taller. It looks like it got bent. You guys can see that, broken actually in transit. Like they tried to bend it to fit it into the shipping box and it just snapped in half. Not in half, but it, like a good 18 inches of the top snapped off. I did email them about that to see what the best course of action would be. I'm kind of disappointed that now it's only about 3 feet tall instead of closer to 5. But hopefully, you know, I'm thinking what I might end up need to do is just to prune the top of this to give it a clean cut right there, and then just let it kind of go from there. I'm not really sure. So I'm kind of waiting to hear back from them on that. I didn't want to delay planting it because I know you need to get them into the ground within 5 or so days of shipping, you know, receipt of shipping. So I just thought I'm going to go ahead and put it in the ground. If they offer to send me another one, you know, of course I'll take it and I'll find a place for it here on the property. But I don't want that one to go to waste, you know, even if it's a little bit shorter than it would have been. It'll catch up. And I still have 4 more to get into the ground. I've already dug the holes, which is the hardest part. So I'm going to get to working on that. And if I don't catch up with you guys today to show you what I've done, I'll catch up with you later on in the week to show you those other 4. And I find that it's kind of interesting that it is cold enough for me to wear a jacket today when last week it was like approaching 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So the weather's still in that phase where it's up and down a little bit. We're not in summer temperatures completely yet for good for the season. So we're getting there though. Summer's my favorite season because I do love the heat for the most part, and I love the garden. I like sitting out and listening to the sound of cicadas, for which my husband thinks I'm crazy, but I do love the cicadas. So I'm going to get on to planting these other trees now, and I'll catch up with you. Hi there, I'm back, and it is Friday, May 31st. I can't believe this is the last day of May. I wanted to show you guys what I have accomplished with the rest of these trees that I've planted. So let's take a little walk. Okay, I've got you down here at the far end of our property, and look at these beautiful grasses. I love the fact that these are here. I did not put those in. They were here when we bought this place 12 years ago, and our street is right straight there. We kind of are at the dead end of the street, so straight ahead is you would be on this neighborhood street. So this makes a nice privacy screen or backdrop or what have you. But let's take a look at these 3 trees. I've got 3 new ones here this year. This is the area where I had previously tried to grow apple trees, and they did not make it. They succumbed to the cedar rust. This one is a ginkgo biloba that I planted probably a couple months ago now. It's been a little while. So it's new this year, but not brand new. It wasn't part of this current planting spree that I've been on. And this next one is it called a Tupelo Black. Don't know much about this tree. I got it as one of my Arbor Day trees that I bought and just got it into the ground this week. It's kind of just looks like a stick right now. You probably can't even see it here on the video. And then the third one in this area is another maple. So this one is, I have to look at the tags. I believe that this one is a red sunset maple. Actually, I've got a tag right here. Yeah, red sunset. And it's probably about 3 feet tall. So I'm trying to just keep them watered and help them to get established. And I do have a few others I want to show you that I've put in this year. And while we walk back down towards the house where those are, I'll share with you kind of why I'm on this tree planting spree and what my criteria have been for selecting trees. So we have lost a number of trees since we have lived here in the 12 years. And it's just due to various factors, maybe age, disease, what have you. So I'm trying to get newer trees replanted now, like as soon as possible, so that I can, hopefully live to enjoy them as they get bigger. So, and as far as my selection of trees, I kind of have 2 criteria that I'm keeping in mind when I'm selecting trees. First, I'm really attempting to stick with natives when it comes to trees and shrubs, and if not native to our very immediate area, at least to the state or to the eastern Midwest region. And the second factor I'm using when I'm selecting trees is fall color. I really want some gorgeous fall color here, and other than the fruit trees, of course. So I guess that would be the third criteria, that I'm still planting fruit trees slowly when I can. So before we look at the new trees, I want to show you this little tiny maple. It's only about 1 to 2 feet high, and I planted this probably last year, or actually probably the year before. I'm not sure if you can even see it in there, but it was doing well. It was probably about 3 feet high, and it had foliage, and then the deer got to it a year or so ago, and I thought it was dead. In fact, that red sunset maple that we looked at, this is another red sunset. I bought that to replace this one, but this started sprouting leaves again. So I left it here and gave it some, better protection. Hey again, I got called away unexpectedly earlier, so I am back out here. It's later in the day, and I'm going to finish showing you guys these trees I've gotten into the ground this year. Let's take a look. So we are headed back down to this tiny little maple. I think that's where I left off. My husband came out and pulled me away. We had a thing to go to, and I had totally lost track of time. But we're out here now. It's a wonderful evening. It's probably mid-70s. Sun is going down. So this maple tree that we're looking at here, I thought it was dead because the deer had got to it. It had gotten up to be about maybe close to 3 feet tall and took a bad hit from the deer. And in fact, now it's only about, I don't know, between 12 and 18 inches tall. Was going to yank it out, replace it with another one, a red sunset maple, and it started growing leaves again this year. So I left it here, put the red sunset down the other end where I showed you guys a little while ago. So got some protection on this one now, and I think that it'll do pretty well. And working our way back up towards the house. This next one is, there's so many that I planted all at once, I'm losing track. This is another maple. It's called Sun Valley. It's about 3 feet tall, and you can see right there I had to cut it off and make a clean cut because it had gotten broken and bent when they put it into the shipping box. 2 of those trees from the Arbor Day Foundation were like that, and they're really tall, so probably lost about a foot off of that one, so hopefully it'll catch up, you know, pretty soon. And moving on, this one is a honey locust. I planted this one a little while earlier, not with this last go round. This one's really pretty. Look at these leaves there. I hope I can't tell if that's showing. I think it is. The leaves are very feathery. This one has a good size to it, which is nice. And this one came from Stark Brothers. It's called Shade Master Honey Locust. It'll get decently tall, and it'll turn beautiful yellow in the fall. So I think that I had mentioned before I got pulled away abruptly, one of my criteria for planting trees and shrubs going forward is beautiful fall color, along with being relatively native to this general region or their fruit trees. This is my elderberry. I've had this will be a shrub. This is a shrub, and it'll hopefully get fuller than this. So I have had this in a pot for 2 or maybe 3 years now, and it's taken me this long to get it into the ground. So considering that it did pretty well with a lot of neglect and being bound to a small pot, I think it's going to do quite well here in the ground. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. And these next 2 I'm going to show you I planted last year. This is about a 1 foot tall white oak tree. It's kind of leafed out pretty well. I put it in, I guess, last fall. Where I work, we do native plant sales twice a year, and this is one that I got from one of those sales. Same with this next one, which is a spice bush. This one's done pretty well. It's pretty, for its size, it's pretty bushy. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's still very, very short. I feel like it's pretty full for its height. And that's about all I wanted to share with you today. I did show you those other 2. I have to think one was a star magnolia. The other one was a birch down past the house. If we had kept walking in the direction we're going in, we would meet up with those trees. They're still doing well, so now it's just a matter of helping them settle in, keeping them watered. And we never really got much of the rain. They were predicting rain for 3 days in a row. It did not pan out, but now that I've gotten all the trees and shrubs in, I'm hoping that it kind of opens up this weekend, but we'll see how that goes. This might be all that I have to share with you this week. I don't think it will be, because I'm hoping to I still have a few more veggie and flower seedlings, plus direct sowing should be happening now. I'm kind of delayed on that, so that'll be happening as soon as I get some time. I'm working this weekend a little bit at my job, so yeah, I'll share that with you, and you'll be seeing this. So today is Friday, May 31st, and you'll probably be seeing this at the earliest on Sunday, June 2nd, or Monday, June 3rd. So until the next segment, bye. Hey there, it is Monday, June 3rd. I believe it's the 3rd. And I haven't made a lot of progress with the rest of my seedlings and getting direct sowing done, but I did want to show you some negative things that have happened in the garden. This will be the last segment, and I'll be getting this video posted today. which will recap the weekly activities. Oh, deer. Okay, there's a deer over there. It sounded like heavy movement in the woods, and I was freaked out for a minute, but I can see it's a deer. I don't think you guys can see it. It's right over there, but that does kind of tie in with what I want to show you today. I have had deer damage to my tomato plants big time, and I'm gonna have to push for us getting this fence done sooner than later. A couple of my plants here in my zoom back out in my raised bed are just gone, or well, that sounded weird. Did you guys hear that? I'm gonna start getting freaked out. Or chomped down. Like this was a Rutgers tomato. I think the thing was approaching like 2.5, 3 feet tall. It was my best one, and it's just gone now. So, oh gosh, we have got to get on the ball about this fence. And what I think I'm gonna do for these, the tomato seedlings that just aren't doing well, like these, rather than just let that pot sit like that waiting for these to do something, I'm gonna go ahead and just dedicate these pots to something else, direct seed things like squash and beans and such like that, just so I could start making some headway. My pepper situation has not improved much at all, and I'm in kind of the same situation there, where there's a few plants that may make it. Most of them are not making it, so it's disappointing, but I'm gonna just not dwell on it too much and move forward and think, how can I rededicate all of these pots and grow bags to something that will do well. Even the plants that are doing okay, they're not really thriving, and I feel like maybe it is still slug damage, and I don't know if I should resort to some chemical control. I hate to do that. On the other hand, I mean, these are the plants that I've grown from seed. I mean, in February, like late February, and here we are in June. All that time, for nothing. On a good note, my Sugar Rush peach pepper is starting to show signs of flowering. So I'm really excited about that. I kept that little puppy alive, in the barest of conditions in the house over the winter, giving it enough light to survive, but not to thrive, but it kept it going. So that's good to see. And I can tell more damage to my potato plants just chopped off right there. And right there, that's deer damage. So luckily they didn't get too many of potato plants. But man, they did a number on my tomatoes, which were already struggling to really take off to begin with. So it's frustrating. We've got to get the fence up, and I'm going to push for us to make this priority one, I think. Look at my pretty zinnia. It's lovely. I'm going to get some more too. I'm excited about that. All my little plants here in these grow bags are doing pretty good. These are flowers and herbs for the most part. Yeah. And I still have yet to put anything in my green stalk. I'm thinking that it's too shaded there, and I might have to move it again. I'm wondering if I can roll it. It does have wheels on the base, but rolling it on this ground might be a little bit difficult. We'll see. I figure that's a problem for another day. One more thing to show you before I sign off. My oak leaf hydrangeas are blooming. So pretty. And these plants have done very well here. I'm so happy about that. That's about it. Be a little look around. So that's it for this week as far as the garden goes. I will have another video coming out later this week, and it's not related to gardening at all. I took a really nice hike through one of our local parks, and I took you guys along with me, so I will share that with you later in the week. I'll see you then.